Hi, I'm John, and this is part 22 of my F1 23 career mode series. And in this part we'll be racing on the Las Vegas Strip circuit in the United States. Alright, here we are in Vegas, and it's exciting to be here. It's obviously a street track, but it looks to be a bit different than the other street tracks. And I guess this track has the longest straight on the calendar, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, obviously it's the first time the F1 circus is racing here, so yeah, we're stepping into the unknown, but we can make an educated guess that Red Bull and the other teams on top are probably gonna stay there. But yeah, we'll see how we perform against our rival Alpine. Only 2 races remaining in this season, this one and the season finale in Abu Dhabi. So yeah, with only 2 points between us in the constructors standings, yeah, we're gonna try our best to overtake them and finish 6th in the constructors. But yeah, let's go racing on the Vegas Strip, so let's jump into qualifying. Alright, let's go with the balanced preset. I don't want to compromise our downforce, because the slow sections seem to be quite tricky in the practice, so yeah, let's get out there. Alright, let's see where that puts us. I'm a 10th slower than Alex. Alex did the fastest second sector out of anyone. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess we'll just wait till the end and do one final run. Bit of a lock-up.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. Verstappen, Perez, and Charles Leclerc. With qualifying complete, all that remains now is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Alright, P12 in the end. Looks like the margins are quite small. I'm just happy that I'm ahead of my teammates. And yeah, there's one Alpine in the top 10. But we'll see what happens in the race. If we don't manage to score any points, then hopefully they don't either. But yeah, we'll see.
Welcome to Las Vegas, and for Formula One, it's welcome back to Las Vegas. No longer do we race in the Caesars Palace car park. Tonight, the time is right to go racing in the street. 17 corners, 3 straights, 2 DRS zones, and the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas as we race around the 3.8 miles of Sin City. The strip has been taken over to become a straight tonight, commanding top speeds of around 212 miles an hour. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Norris, Stroll, Sainz, Russell, Hamilton, Ocon, Fernando Alonso, Mäkinen, Gasly, Tsunoda, Albon, Ricciardo, Bottas, Joe, Magnussen, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is none other than Anthony Davidson. They've been involved in a number of costly incidents lately. That's got to affect their mindset going into this race.
It's not an ideal situation by any means. When you get into a bad run like that, there's always a risk of frustration creeping in, which can cause more mistakes and locks you into this vicious cycle. Hopefully today they can get through turn 1 cleanly and stay calm for the rest of the race.
Alright, so 9 laps on the mediums and then 9 laps on the hards. Alright, let's do it. That was pretty close with both of the Alpines there.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward.
Yep. We're so slow on the straights.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Yep. I need to save battery.
Behind by 5/10 a lap.
How to lock up into one. Sliding a lot. Almost crashed into a wall. Yeah, I can't do anything. We're so slow.
Okay, we lost the position. Try to keep focus.
Something's happened ahead. Was I ahead?
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta's negative, which means you're going too fast. Reduce your pace. Okay, VSC ending. We're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
Yep, we're green. You need to wake up, Mark.
worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Copy.
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
I had a hard lock up into turn 1. Full race update.
Currently P11. Currently P11. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 2.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. Okay, gap to leader, 13.1 seconds. And your pit window opens in 2 laps' time. Okay, 12 laps to go.
Should we box so that we are not gonna box on the same lap?
Okay, gap to the car behind. Car behind. 1.7 seconds.
Let's box next lap.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.4 seconds.
Box this lap.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap. Okay, off we go, back into the race. That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit, or receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
minute status.
Gap to your teammate ahead is 15.5 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're currently 5th. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 41.4. Car behind trailing us, 2.6 seconds. The car ahead of you's just fitted the hard tyres. Car ahead now on the hard compound.
Yep.
teammate behind is 6.4 seconds.
Copy. Teammate status.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 6.8 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. They're in 13th place. Time last lap was a 1:39.2.
Full race update.
Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left. That's P7 now. P7. Okay, Sainz is ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Piastri's behind. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. The distance to the leader is 15.2 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Okay, just 5 laps until the end.
Copy.
Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
That's enough, right? Driver in front.
Norris just ahead, push for the position. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 1.5 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 40.1. Okay, so you're gaining by 1/10 a lap.
That's not gonna be enough.
And let's bring it home.
Yeah.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Come on, guys. That was a pretty good race.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Let's go. That's a good amount of points.
Not just victory today then, but the championship as well. What a spectacular season they've had. Congratulations to the whole team. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
And it's another title in the bag for Red Bull after a long and hard-fought season. They've built an astonishing car this year, and the glory they'll be taking back to Milton Keynes is fully deserved. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Alright, what a race, and yeah, what a result. P5 in the end with 10 more points in the back, so yeah, that puts us ahead of Alpine by 8 points in the constructors standings going into the final round. So yeah, happy with the results, and yeah, the race itself was pretty good. I feel like I had at times pretty good grip, but then again I had a few lockups here and there, and the rear was sliding all over the place at some points, so yeah, it felt pretty inconsistent, but yeah, we managed to keep it out of the walls, and yeah, we had a balanced car setup, so we sacrificed a bit of top speed for more downforce, because I struggled a bit in the slow corners in practice, so I thought this was the way to go, and yeah, it worked out well. Even though we were probably the slowest car on the straight in the race, at least that's how it felt, somehow I just managed to get past the cars fighting each other, and yeah, they kept fighting each other and lost time, and I managed to create a gap that way, so yeah, it worked out really well for me. But yeah, this track is definitely one for DRS. Most of the overtakes happened on both of the DRS sections, and yeah, I mean, I guess it creates a lot of overtakes. I don't know for sure, but I would, after that race, I would say that this race probably had the most overtakes from any race this season. At least that's how it felt in the car. Every time we entered the DRS zone, there was an overtake, so or at least an attempt of an overtake. So yeah, it was a fun race. It's a pretty fun track, so yeah, a good weekend for us. So we're gonna be heading into the finale in the next part. As I said, 8 points ahead of Alpine, so yeah, I think that's gonna be our goal, to finish in 6th in the constructor standings. And with this result, I think I secured 10th place in the driver standings. I don't think Ocon is gonna finish on the podium in the next race, so yeah, but you never know. It's racing, anything can happen, so yeah, we'll see in the finale in Abu Dhabi. But thanks for watching, like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to stay tuned for more.